What if Airbnb asked me to design a project? I took that idea and turned it into a real challenge. In this two-part series, I'll show you exactly how to build it from start to finish. If you enjoy this kind of videos, don't forget to like and subscribe because it really supports the channel. Like always, let me give you an explanation about the project. We have an asset folder over here which contains everything that you need in this project, and also a reference video that I put it over here that I'm gonna go through it that I previously made it. And about the composition setting, we have something like this because I tend to see everything smooth. I just put it at 60, but it doesn't matter, you can change it to whatever it works for you. Basically, I'm gonna start with a background. I'm gonna get a reference from here. It's just a plain white. I'm gonna call it as BG. Then we need a shape for the text box. Again, I'm gonna get a reference from the color over here, so I'm gonna open up the fill. Then I can get reference easily. I don't need any stroke for that. Again, I'm gonna center it out, maybe give it a roundness, a proper one. About 90 will be good to have some perfect round. And for the resizing your shape, instead of using a scale and facing with some disaster like this, you can easily come into the property and use the size over here so everything perfectly change and it doesn't cause any problem to you. I'm gonna put of course in it. It should be center also. If I hold the control on my keyboard and come close to the anchor point and then move it, you see it can snap to the center of the shape. So then I can rescale it. Then I can connect this one to the bottom shape, and this one would be the text box. And then for the movement, what I'm gonna do is just give it a simple position keyframe, move it to the down like this, and then we're gonna put 5 frame as a distance, so it comes up with some plain animation like this. But I'm gonna give it some bounce, so I'm gonna use expression from Bricks. So shout out Bricks. You can find this scripts from my own channel, or you can use a Bricks Discord channel. So after I copy my expression, I need to hold Alt from my keyboard and hit the toggle animation of the position and paste it over here. After that, you see that we have something like this. So for making the bounce a little bit smoother, what I'm gonna do is just put in 10 keyframe, like 10 frame instead of 5 frame, and then it will be something like this. I just need to give these two a proper opacity to have it fade in. I think 10 frame would be good. So around here we have some morphing animation that what I'm gonna do is just opening scale and rotation for over here, and maybe put some keyframe like this. Put a keyframe at the middle, go 5 frame forward, put other keyframe, and then again come back 5 frame and put other keyframe over here. Maybe I want to move these keyframe a little bit forward and give them exactly same expression. So by doing this, I can give it some rotation, and I have to make this uniform and some scale like this. Maybe you scale it down a little bit, so it's gonna be something like this. So for having something better than, I have to move it a little bit forward because it has bounce. Again, give it 3 as a rotation and 72 as a scale. So we just need to change these middle keyframe to be able to get something like this. Go into this and then again get back to the previous value. Exactly over here, when we're doing this, what I'm gonna do is just open up the property and resize it again, something like this. I have to open it up to be able to come something like this, and I'm gonna use motion for it. That you can find the link on the description. It's gonna be on my Discord channel and you can find it completely free, or if you want you can use flow. It's exactly same as this one. It's gonna be really fast at the first and then slow at the end. I think this one will be better. I'm gonna use flow in this time. You also can find the flow on my Discord channel. So over here I'm gonna give it a fill and change the color. So the first color would be this. I'm gonna get a reference from here, and the secondary color would be a grayish color. So I'm gonna put a keyframe over here and then come over here and make it a grayish color. So this is gonna be good. So we're gonna have something like this. I just need to hit a U to open up the keyframes and give it exactly same like graph to be able to comes out with something like this. So right now I'm gonna cut the text layer from here and use some script that I put it on my Discord channel. You can also find it on my Discord channel, and set some setting like this and apply it to the text. And at the end I'm gonna remove the original one and have 2 split layer, put the anchor point at the center of those texts. So exactly over here I'm gonna give it some position like this, and if I give it some offset and also some like this, even I'm gonna have more speed at the first. And for fixing this, I just need to select these two and mat it to the shape that I previously made it over here, the text box. So we're gonna come out with something like this. I just need to push this back. grab the search, put it exactly at the center. I'm also gonna give some fill to that. And then I'm gonna come over here to don't see any bounces, so I can parent this to the shape and have all the information over here. So I'm gonna give it a position and opacity, and in 5 to 10 keyframe, it doesn't matter, whatever works for you. Let me give it a opacity like over here. It should be 0 at the first and then 100 over here. And again, if I give it the same expression over here, but only for the position, because I don't need it for the opacity, I'm gonna come up with something like this, but the bounce over here is a lot. I don't need something like this, so I just want to do some adjustment on a script. I want to change this to 1.2 and this went to 3, and let me check it one more time. I think this is gonna be good. Yeah, that's good, that's good. So I'm gonna move these 2 keyframe to a little bit forward to see the complete shape and be able to adjust it properly. I'm gonna put it over here, like, yeah, exactly over here, and then I'm gonna move it again to the first of the layer. So then I'm gonna have something like this, but again, the bounce is a lot, so I'm not gonna change these scripts. I just want to push these last keyframe a little bit forward. Let me change the scripts also. The setting will be something like this. So it's time to put the where do you want to go over here. So I'm gonna just write where. And honestly, for the animation, I have a color template that I'm gonna put it over here as a reference and use it through the video. So I'm gonna leave it over here and come into the animator of the text, give it a fill color and get a reference from this one. Add some blur to that, give it a 4 blurriness or maybe 3, some position, maybe push it a little bit forward about 32, and also opacity as a property. Then we can put it on a 0. I'm gonna come into the advanced, change this to ramp up, and from character we're gonna move to the words, and 25 for ease high and 100 for ease low. So then exactly over here I can put a keyframe for the offset instead of using start and end because it's a ramp up. So then we're gonna come up with something like this. I can give it some 2500. I just need to change the color. Yeah, something like this. That would be good. And also about the font that I'm using in this video is SF Pro. It's the iOS font. And also you can find this one on my Discord channel. So don't forget to join my Discord channel because obviously you can find so many valuable stuff in it. Come a little bit forward to have something steady and then parent it to the main shape that I had it. So you see that I have some beautiful animation over here. So right now it's time to use the 3D object. So I'm going to move it into my composition, hit OK, make it comp size, and maybe change the name. Also, this is an object from Sketchfab. You can download so many different stuff from it. So I'm going to scale this down, give it a position, and move this to the out of the frame. And I'm going to pick the pen tool and give it some curve like this. And if you see right now, it's here and then it's go out of the frame, but it should be exactly reverse. So I'm not going to do the keyframe again. I just want to select these 2, click right on them, and then come into the keyframe assistant and time reverse the animation. And right now we have to fix the movement. So I'm going to cut over here because I don't need it. Open up the keyframe, give it some graph like this, or maybe again I'm gonna use the flow to have some better animation. It should be over here, not down there. Make it a little bit better by giving it a rotation. So I'm gonna give it something like this, so it come from here to here like this. So I'm gonna put a scale over here and maybe open up all the property to see everything. Go 5 frame forward and 5 frame backward. If you see, I'm using this format of keyframe a lot because it's so useful in different part of the video. And I also want to give it some orientation. So I'm going to put some keyframe exactly like this for it. And over here, maybe scale it down a little bit. And the reason that I'm using this kind of object, because of this, I can do something like this to have something really, really realistic. Can give the same script that I was using it. Make this shape like this, and it doesn't need any fill. I just need to put some stroke for it. It should be under this layer, and I don't need it from here. So I'm gonna give it position in 5 frame and move it a little bit down, and maybe center the anchor point to the middle. So then again, I'm gonna use these scripts over here. So I'm gonna have something like this. And also for having some more detail, I can give it a fill, grab a color from here, switch the color to black after a while. If you see, we have some perfect animation like this. I'm gonna open up this and again open up the text layer and cut it from here because I'm gonna give it some different like animator. So I'm gonna remove the first animator that I previously made it, give it a new one. I'm gonna give it some blurriness and give it 2 as a value, give it also opacity and make this 0. Awesome. So again into the advanced, I'm gonna put 2500, make it ramp down in this time, and also avoid. Also I'm gonna give it a little bit position, like awesome. So over here I can move this a little bit to the forward, and let me see what's happening over here. So to be honest, I'm gonna put it on ramp up, because if I put it on ramp down, something like this happening, I'm gonna do exactly reverse things. So I'm gonna change this to ramp up, give it a same fill color, and grab this one. So if you see the animation, it would be something like this. I can do a keyframe for the offset, something like this, from 100 to -100. I just need to give it some intense graph to be able to make the animation much more faster, and move this a little bit closer. So it's gonna be something like this. Do a circle and put it over here, put it exactly at the center, give it a stroke like this, and it should be green at the first. So I'm gonna give it fill. Also, this is FX Console that you can find the link in the description, and it's completely free. You can find it from the FX Console website. So I'm gonna grab a reference from this green color. Maybe over here it should be 40. I'm gonna give it some scale when exactly I'm doing the morphing and stuff. So yeah, exactly from here I'm gonna make it 100, even more, move it out of the frame, something like this. Exactly. I'm gonna give it 100 in motion for. Also it should be 0, shouldn't be here over here. I don't need it over here. So then it gradually turns to this color. Also I'm gonna give it the same things. And the game changer tricks would be fast box blur over here. So I'm gonna give it something like this. And also we have some more detail over here exactly on the click. So I'm gonna make those one as well. So I'm gonna do something like this. Give it some fill. To be honest, the color wouldn't be matter for me over here. I just need some color which has some contrast with this one. So whatever it does, it's good for here. So I'm gonna put one over here and then come into the content and copy this one, like get a duplicate from it with Control D and put this exactly over here. Let me first track this one to the text box to be able to have some kind of clear vision from what we were doing exactly over here. Let me move the anchor point to here. Yeah. And then move this to the back, something like this. Exactly. So this is good. So I'm gonna do keyframe like this, but for the scale, right? Something like this, 0, but over here is 100, over here is 0. It's gonna be reverse, and it's completely fine because I can just select all of them and do a time reverse sum. So I'm gonna move the anchor point to here. Awesome. So I can open up the keyframe, give it some keyframe like this. Awesome. Or I can use the flow to have some better animation. This is good. And if I give it a fast box blur, I can do a fade like this. 35 would be good. And for the final touch, I'm gonna change the color mode, and you see magic. So I just need to move this to exactly over here to have it exactly behind everything, and I have to do opacity for it, like something like this, 0 to 100, or it should be exactly reverse, and then again I have to give the graph. Awesome. So this is good. I'll also might want to use this one, a motion graph, to have something smoother. So before I move to the next part, I just want to put this above everything and change the color to be able to recognize it. And then I'm gonna make a null object and connect everything which is not parented to something to the null object, except the background that I have over here. Also, I have some detail over here, so let me show it to you guys quickly. So I'm gonna do a quick circle over here. It shouldn't be that much accurate, and put it exactly over here, make the anchor point center, and give it a fast box blur like this. Awesome. And also turn down the opacity a little bit to something like 60. Move it to the here, and I have to do scale and opacity exactly over here. That should be perfect. And over here the scale should be something like this, but I think if we put the anchor point to the bottom, it should be better. Yeah, that's perfect. So if I give it something like this, you see we have something like this. If I move it a little bit, you see I can have some shade over here, and I can turn the opacity a little bit higher to have some obvious things. So I also need to parent this one to over here. Awesome. I'm gonna do a position for this one and do a match cut. So I'm gonna move it to here and do a keyframe like this. I just need to reverse this one to make it faster at the end, and comes out with something like this. Awesome. And cut everything out and move them to top. So I can open up the keyframe, move it forward and delete it to have the original positions, and scale it up a little bit, something like this, and move to here. So basically, because I'm gonna do it accurately, I'm gonna open up this and turn on the title action save, and I can easily move it to over here. I can give it a position and move it to here. I don't know where exactly, but I'll figure it out right now. So before I do anything, I think it would be better if I put the Vancouver text over here first. Let me grab a reference from this one because the size and the stuff over here is perfect. So I'm going to move it to the top, and maybe I'm going to remove all of these and then just write the Vancouver text. I just need to change the color. So I have everything ready, and I just need to do the keyframe. So what I'm going to do is just give it some keyframe, but it shouldn't be on word. It should be on character to be able to have something like this one by one. And I also don't need any position, to be honest. So I can remove this out so it's not gonna move. Yeah, this is gonna be perfect. And if I move it to the ramp up, I can have it from the first. And if I reverse this graph and apply it on our keyframe, we have something like this, you see? So we need to fix the stuff over here. So first of all, I'm gonna give this animation. Over here we have to give it a 2500. It's a little bit fast, so I'm gonna make some adjustment. So then for the next step, I'm gonna find this shape. Let me give it some different color to make it much more obvious. And then I'm also gonna give it a position. So I'm gonna remove the stuff and also hold the Alt and hit over here because I don't need any script for that. And I'm gonna move this to here. Awesome. So this is kind of cool, and give it exactly same stuff, or it should be even faster. Let me see. So I just changed the keyframe for where do you want to go to fade out sooner, and also changed the keyframe for this shape and the Vancouver text to make it synchronize together, kinda synchronized to be honest. And then from here, I'm gonna move this out of the frame like with rotation and position. Yeah, so this is gonna come over here, give it some graph like this. Let me see what would be happening. Or I can make this a little bit slower at the first, maybe 3500. It can be 69, something like this. Let me give it a little bit of rotation. I think something like this makes sense a lot more, but I have to move the Vancouver to over here. Yeah, and this is kind of cool. Yeah, so this is awesome. Grab the airplane and put it over here. So first of all, I'm gonna scale down this a little bit, and I don't need it from here. So from exactly over here, I'm gonna do a position like this, and then come a little bit forward, put it over here, maybe 10 frame. And then again 10 frame forward and move it out of the frame, something like this. And then I'm gonna pick the pen tool like always and give it a graph like this. So let me see what will be happening over here. It's perfectly working for me, but I have to make the movement proper. So I'm gonna move this to here. Awesome. And I'm gonna give it some graph like this. But it's not good. As you see, it's stopped over here completely and then again continue the movement. So I don't want to have this stop. I'll have to make it continuous. So I'm gonna grab everything, select the middle part, open up the information and check this continuous, and then I can move it together to have something like this. And this is awesome. And the next things is I have to make this auto orient to follow the path exactly like it is. So I'm gonna right click on it, come into the transform, open the auto oriented and orient along the path. So I have to fix it once and then it works perfectly. If you see, comes over here and then go away. I think it's perfect right now, but I don't know why I don't like the way that it comes in. It's kind of too yeah, I don't know. Let me play with it a little bit. I will like this one a lot more. I'll push this a little bit to the top and I'll also change the path a little bit. Yeah, to something like this. If you're watching this video till here, don't forget that your like and subscribe would be a huge support for me and it can help me a lot. So if it was helpful to you, don't forget to like and subscribe the video. I'll see you in the next part.